Hello there. Dave Abersees here, and I am here on the lake to congratulate everybody involved with the I Hear Good Things podcast. Congratulations on your 10th podcast. Here's to 10 more. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep following your creative dreams and pushing through. It's the best we can do. And if you don't, I'll come looking for you. All right. Congratulations.
Welcome back to I Hear Good Things, the podcast about music. It's 12 degrees, a little chilly, Ugg boot season in Australia. This is a very special episode of I Hear Good Things, the podcast. It's our half-year wrap-up and 10th episode celebration spectacular. Nice to hear from Dave Abersees at the top there, drummer on Pearl Jam's classic albums Versus and Vitalogy. I did have to learn how to filter out the noise of a boat motor because he was on the lake. But hey, I learned a new skill. Thank you, Dave. We've got a bunch of your favourite characters today to celebrate with. We've got a fully qualified carpenter. We'll hear from Jasmine from episode 5. Some thoughts from her. We've got a heartfelt tribute from our Japan correspondent. We've got wife reveal. Can you believe I have wife? I'll chat with her about K-pop. And then the real meat today, Jack from episode 2, to talk about our respective top 5 albums of the year so far. And then at the end, a very special gift for you so that no one walks away empty-handed. Episode number 10, there's not a moment to lose, so let's check in with a fully qualified carpenter. All right, g'day, Chief.
G'day, mate.
We're doing the half-year wrap-up this episode, so just wanted to ask, any big moments in carpentry this year?
No.
All right. Okay.
Done.
Well,
Okay.
while I've got you anyway, my mate Jack, who's on the episode a bit later, his floor fall in. Well, not falling yet, but soon to fall in.
Okay.
What do you suggest, Jack? Any approaches, suggestions?
Probably just watch a few YouTube videos and maybe an episode of The Block, and then have a go.
Okay, easy as that.
Yeah, undertake some major structural works on your biggest financial asset, probably.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, he'll be happy to hear that.
Glad I could help.
No, that's what you're here for. Mate, did you have a favourite record this year?
Yeah, Carnival's new record, in Versus, I think was, I think the bagpipe really tipped it over the line, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scroggy, or what was his name? Something like that. Scroggy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that album. And
Yeah, it's a nice one. All right, well, thanks for that, Chief. Any
no worries, mate.
any further questions? But I'm only choosing the very best questions to send along to you. So
Yeah,
thanks for this, and I'll talk to you again.
thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks for filtering out all the hundreds of questions that are coming in.
Yeah, no, that's my part of the deal. You do your part of the deal.
All right.
So yeah, thanks very
Thanks,
much.
mate.
Okay, this is my wife, Karen.
Hello.
I've got to ask you about K-pop because you've become almost exclusively a K-pop listener.
I don't think you can say that.
You branched out into anime songs.
Yes.
This is most of what I hear you play.
True. Yes. I kind of got into K-pop through a friend and her interest in it. And we had a common love for Blackpink, who you quite like as well, but early Blackpink, not later Blackpink.
That's the only good Blackpink.
That's true. And then from there, it was kind of easy to branch out into other groups and discover other groups.
And why did it overtake your music listening so much?
I think K-pop encapsulates the best of pop in so many ways. That whole sugar candy kind of thing that pop does, where it's addictive in nature, it's bright and sparkly and fun, and doesn't require too many brain cells in some ways. And also because they work hard on the finished product, sometimes too hard, but still, with the way that the K-pop industry trains their trainees and puts together groups in a particular way because they're trying to achieve this particular product or sound, it's very attractive in many ways. I mean, obviously, there's the physical attractiveness that is a component, less of interest to me because I'm more interested in the music side of things.
So you say.
Rude.
Yeah, no, that's definitely part of it. But you seem to have drifted in sort of happier directions in media generally. Like you stopped watching sort of gloomy, dark TV shows and watch, Korean dramas and this sort of thing. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that is interesting because I think it also coincided with the rise of the popularity of Asian culture in general. And when I was growing up in Australia, Australia obviously is very different to the US in that the US, they emphasize the whole melting pot aspect of multiculturalism. In Australia, what is the term that we use here? Like, I don't know, we're like fruit salad or something. It's less the melting pot. It's
Is
more
that a term we say?
No, it's not the term. I can't remember the exact term. But, it's the whole idea of peaceful coexistence and diversity and representation and all the rest of it. At the same time, growing up here, because I've been living here for, how long have I been living here for? Oh my goodness, about over 40 years now. When I was growing up, Asian culture was not seen as a positive thing, I could say. There was a fair bit of racism. But with the rise of Asian culture permeating popular culture, it's become a popular thing. And I feel like, in turn, it's helped me embrace the Asian side of my life.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the happy content is
Byproduct.
Okay.
But at the same point in time, I think this also coincided a little bit with COVID, when the world was, dark, gloomy, depressing.
Right.
Yeah. And so turning to media that was a bit more upbeat, positive, fun, happy. I think a lot of people did that. It was also coincided with the rise of, the cozy mystery, the romance genre, all that sort of stuff. Yep.
Okay. So you've been to a number of K-pop shows. They seem to be quite different in format.
Yes.
Can you tell me about... We went to one together.
Yes. Should we start with that one?
Yeah.
That was Dreamcatcher at the Sydney Town Hall, which is a very odd place, I think, to have a K-pop concert. But I think it's because my music teacher was explaining that in Sydney, there aren't really any mid-sized venues, or not many. Like there's the Enmore Theatre, and that's it, really. So I guess they couldn't get the Enmore, so they booked the Town Hall, or maybe they couldn't fill the Enmore, or they weren't sure if they could. But that one, it seemed like they had a touring set list, which might have been a bit out of date because they were doing their Christmas album. And it was, what month was it? Was it like May or something like that?
Yeah, it was nowhere near Christmas.
No, it was hilarious. I thought, I don't know why they're singing their Christmas songs. But they did use the digital backdrop where they put up graphics and things to match the songs. And I think they were using the dance numbers that they normally use for those songs. But they didn't, I think maybe had one costume change after the break. There was a break, wasn't there?
I thought they had a couple of breaks where they changed costume.
I didn't feel like they changed it much. Like, I guess compared to other K-pop concerts I've seen where they change a bit more frequently. But they did do the traditional, well, they might have like an opening number or two, and then they'll have greetings or introductions where every single person in the group will say something, introduce themselves.
Yeah, so that's what I found so strange about it was, and because there's six of them, isn't there?
I thought there was more than that. I can't remember.
It was somewhere between 5 and 7. But But yeah, every time they'd talk, like everyone had to say a little piece. And also they were speaking in Korean, so it had to be translated. So it just took forever. Whenever they said anything, it was, 5 minutes of, and it was generally the same thing they were saying. It was like, oh, we're so happy to be playing this song for you. It means so much to us.
Yeah.
And they'd all kind of say that in a different way, 6 or 7 times. It felt like after almost every song, but I suppose it wasn't.
No. Like the formal part is where they introduce themselves at the beginning, but then they'll have a bit at the end where they'll have their farewells as well.
Right, yeah.
And that's standard for K-pop. But then I don't think they did as much fan stuff as other K-pop concerts I've been to.
No, almost nothing, I think.
Yeah. So it was a compact concert because normally K-pop concerts can go for like 3 hours. And this one was only, 1 to 2 because we were standing as well. So I think they had to, for the sake of the audience, keep it a bit shorter. Whereas when I went to see Card at the Enmore, they only used the bottom part. It was a standing concert as well. But they had a longer fan section, I think, at various points. So there was one where they were getting people from the VIP section to come up on stage, spin, like they had a wheel projected on the screen. So I kind of thought, yeah, this is kind of a little bit rigged, right? Because there were different things on the wheel, prizes, if you like. And I thought, okay, they've probably rigged it in such a way so that certain ones do not get chosen for, say, the female members or something. So they get someone up on stage, a fan, usually a girl for the female members. So Card is one of the few mixed gender groups, and they have two boys, 2 girls. So they get someone up on stage, they'd spin the wheel, and it would be something like, I don't know, take a photo with them or have them sing a bit of a song to you or something like that. And there would be other ones where like they would give you a hug. And so I think they were keen to avoid the female members of the group doing that. So
the wheel's projected. It's not a real.
Yes, it's not a real wheel.
So they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. But then with the stadium, I've been to 2 stadium concerts. One was for Stray Kids. That was the first one I went to. And that one, the whole group was backstage, but they had stuff projected on, you know how Kudos Bank Arena has got the screens all over the place so you can see stuff. So yeah, there was different levels of challenges. I think one of them, if the camera settled on you, the spotlight settled on you, so you were up on screen, then you had to do a dance or something like that. And then the next level up, I can't remember the different levels, but the final level was that you had to copy the dance move that they highlighted on screen, which was a clip from a Stray Kids video.
And did they have all the glow sticks and all that?
Oh, yes, the light sticks. Yes, we haven't talked about that, have we? So the smaller concerts, usually there weren't that many light sticks, whereas the stadium concert, they would sell the light sticks at the venue, and the light sticks would usually sell out. So these things cost, $150 easy. And
so you wouldn't want to like too many groups.
Yeah, well, if you're a dedicated fan, then you collect everything from there. You would buy the CDs, and the CDs
You have
would have the
$1,000
collectors.
worth of light sticks.
You might, yeah, I guess depending on how many groups you like. Some people do, I don't. But the light sticks as well. There are different generations of light sticks. And so for one group, there could be different kinds of light sticks. So for G Idol, I know they put out a recent one which has got a little LCD screen inside it, and it will have different things will come up. The thing is as well, with concerts outside Korea, I'm not sure that they've got the technology to do the whole changing of the lights in sync and the colors.
Coordinated.
Yeah. But I think with those LCD screens, different pictures or symbols will come up depending on the song.
They still do all the talking in the stadium?
Yes. They will still do the introductions. They will still do the farewells. They have the fan bits in the middle. Often in between songs when they're having a little bit of a rest, they might be trying to stir up the crowd and things. The other thing that they will often do to give the group a break is that each member will do some kind of solo stage. So a lot of the members of certain K-pop groups if they get to a certain point in their career, like if they're, I don't know, 6 or 7 years in, they will start producing their own singles. So Blackpink, obviously, each one has got their own little solo project, and they'll do that as part of the concert, which is quite nice. What I really liked about Mamamoo is that the members performed the other person's song, like they did covers of the other person's singles.
Oh, like without the original person.
Yeah, yeah. That was really cool, because then you could see them put their own spin on things. But Mamamoo are really talented, insanely talented.
All right, well, trying to keep this one short, so finish there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This morning, I don't know why, but I was thinking about Postman Pat. If I'm honest, I actually do think about him semi-frequently because I really did love the original cartoon. But I was thinking about him and I realized that I don't know what he looked like from behind. I don't remember him that way. I always remember him from the front on. So I Googled him and I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through the images, and honestly, I had to scroll quite a long time, like almost maybe like 3 minutes, until I saw a picture of him from behind. I was like, oh, okay. It was pretty uneventful. I've got a lot to say about how I think they should have approached Postman Pat from the rear. Okay, so back then, doing the original Postman Pat, it would have been like a very old school situation. I mean, I'm not a cartoonist, I don't know, but I do imagine they were all sitting in a room, drinking cups of English breakfast tea, having a discussion about how they're going to make Postman Pat look. You know, they would have discussed everything from the front, you know, like the hat, the face, the shoes, the hands, everything. But eventually, you know, you're going to have to turn him around and say, what are we going to do with Postman Pat from behind? And I think they would have worked their way down, like, you know, the back of his neck and like his lower back and his little waist and his hips. At some point, there was a discussion about how they are going to approach drawing Postman Pat's butt. And I think there would have been a temptation to just be like, look, let's just give him a very standard, uneventful, working class British butt. But I'd like to think that there would have been someone in the room that was like, okay, hang on a second, guys. Let's think about it. Postman Pat. He's doing some walking. Like, I know he does have his little red car, but he's still doing walking. Like, he's not motorcycling up to the letterbox, not like they do today. So someone would have had to been saying, look, guys, he's doing that. He's getting out of his red car. He's interacting with the township. I personally think that could warrant a little extra something in the rear, like a little bit of a shelf or just a little tiny bit of glute development, I think would be warranted for a man in that profession. And then, of course, I don't know what they're called, the head cartoonist, would have had to make a call. And obviously he decided to go for the uneventful, barely even draw anything. Let's just draw his coat over that portion of the body and we'll just forget about it, which actually does seem like a very British thing to do. But yeah.
All right, I'm here with Jack for the end of the half year. I don't like saying Q1, Q2.
Q4.
Is it this is part of the problem is some would say Q3, Q4, but
it's July.
Okay, it's July. We're recapping January to June, let's put it that way.
Fair.
Okay. It's the half year wrap up. We're going to talk about our favourite releases of the period that we just agreed on, and a few other things. So we're going to start off with, how do you listen to music in 2026? This was a talking point you suggested.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Ben. I think it is as good a place as any to start, because I think there is obviously like a physical question here, like headphones, device, streaming service, vinyl, tape, etc. But also just how do you fit it all in? I'm in awe at the amount of music that you get to consume and you find the time to consume. So part of this is just a curiosity for you. Like, what are the different modes you're listening in? Are you walking the dog? Are you mowing the lawn? Are you listening with your headphones while you're working? Have you got a special place to go to listen to this music? Because I find it harder than I've ever found it to just keep on top of everything that's coming out.
I find if I'm not stressed about work, then I'll just listen to it all day while I'm working. If I'm stressed, I find myself forgetting to put music on, and I'll just sit there and stew. But so quite a lot during the day, and that's that's probably most of it. Like also in the car, but I don't drive that much. But in the car is probably one of the best places.
It sounds better in a car sometimes.
Yeah. But also there's really good speakers when we moved into this house, they had speakers in the roof already, and they're amazing. So pretty much anything, I have to be careful because anything I listen to those, I think is awesome. And then if I listen to it just on my AirPods or something, it's like, I don't know about this. So sometimes I need to do something, in the car, at home, and, on the earbuds, or on the train. I do that on the train on the way to work. I listen to things as well. So, yeah.
I lost that one recently because I started cycling to work and I don't have the courage yet to put headphones on while I'm riding my push bike.
Is that even legal? Can you?
Well, if the police have got to catch you, it depends on how fast you're cycling.
Right, yeah.
I'm generally on on a separated cycleway, but that was a good hour a day of music time that I've now lost. So yeah, definitely find it harder to keep up than I used to.
Yeah. How do you find stuff typically?
It's a good question. I've got a couple of like review aggregator sites that I go to, like Rate Your Music, Album of the Year, etc. Can't afford a Pitchfork subscription, unfortunately, so I can't read their reviews anymore. I still get their emails. But yeah, generally just looking at like what is out. I find that as an Apple Music user, the new music section is not as good as Spotify's used to be. It's one good thing I'd say about Spotify. But I'm generally not looking for like a algorithmic feed of what to listen to, but just like a grid of album covers with bands that I have faint recollections of hearing before, and I'll queue them up and then just try and listen to as many as I can before the next batch comes out the next Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of similar for me. I look at those sites, and but I find they give me more overseas stuff. For Australian stuff, I've had to be a lot more deliberate. Instagram's been a big one for finding Australian stuff, because a lot of my ads, because my podcast related account, I pretty much only follow
Joe Rogan,
musicians. All my ads are like, here's our new album, like come to this show, like it's so that works out pretty well. I find a lot of stuff there.
The other one I'd say across YouTube and Instagram is I barely ever know like the provenance of where these performances come from, but your KCRWs, your let's do a 3-song live set. I find them like fascinating. There's a few of the big ones. Obviously, KCRW is a big one, Tiny Desk, etc. KXP, yeah. There's this one from Chile, Savannah Studio, which I love because that's like Hesse Cassel and all those like great Chilean bands. They've all got like really high quality live videos on YouTube.
Right.
And so once I find like a good live video from a band that I started liking or listening to, then going to who recorded that live set and then sort of clicking through what's some other stuff in here. So I found that to be pretty good too.
Yeah. Probably the other one for me for Australian stuff is Bandcamp. If you find someone who buys a lot of Australian music, I can just go through their profile, like see all the stuff they've bought, which is cool. All right, moving on. Now, best movie. I know you've only seen one movie.
Yeah, well, I've seen more than one movie, but I've only been to the cinema once this year.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm counting anything that
anything I've seen,
came out,
including on streaming services, etc.
I was willing to go that wide, but have you seen anything else from 2026?
Yeah, I've seen some real trash. But I think that the one film I have seen at the cinema, I think it's actually quite a good one. I saw Project Hail Mary when I was on holidays. And I'd read the book in the past 12 months, which I think helped. But yeah, really liked it. I thought the visuals were stunning. I thought that it was funny when it needed to be funny. I thought that the space scenes were epic and really well shot. And I think it sort of captured a little bit of that sort of Steven Spielberg kind of like, not just because there's like a friendly creature in it like E.T., but sort of the sense of wonder and adventure. I thought they really nailed it. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it's one I think that I'll enjoy watching with my kids when they're a bit older, because I think it has that kind of PG vibe to it that, fun for the whole family.
Yep.
You've seen it, I assume?
Yeah, I went to the movies as well for that one. I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd.
That's very harsh.
I thought it was really well done, but I just found it devolved into this buddy comedy that was just so unrealistic.
Bit too entertaining for you.
Too entertaining. Like, I could understand you can work out how to say like one, the concept of one or two, that sort of thing, but he's having full conversations with this alien like a few days in.
The movie does gloss over a fair bit of the science of that. It's a much bigger part of the book about the sort of evolution of the sort of fundamental building blocks of language, science and mathematics. Cool. So maybe if you want more of that stuff, read the book.
Yeah, okay. So like The Martian, because I read The Martian first, and that was much more sciencey, and then
a lot of sciencey stuff in this, so worth a read.
All right.
It's a nice read, good movie, probably better book, but yeah, both have their place.
All right.
So you've been to the movies more than once, I assume.
I've been at least twice. I saw Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie.
Glad somebody saw it.
No, there was a few of us in the cinema. I love He-Man. It's one of my earliest loves. And I thought this movie was pretty awesome. It goes pretty far from the source material in some ways.
The source material, those hallowed tomes.
In that they send him to the real world, and he's like a HR person.
You say that, but I've also seen a He-Man movie, and that's the same thing as the last He-Man movie.
Yeah, maybe I'm not schooled enough in the... I haven't seen any of the... There's a live action that I haven't seen.
The 80s one.
Yeah.
I saw that when I was a kid.
Is he in HR?
He's not in HR, no. But there is like a portal situation where he ends up in Middle America.
Huh. Maybe he does that in the cartoon. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a good time. all the characters you know and love. It's got
The Tiger.
He's not in it enough.
Skeletor.
Yeah, the problem with Skeletor was he doesn't do the high voice. He's got like a low, scary voice.
It is kind of like that's outside of the purple getup.
That's his whole thing, yeah. So that was a bit disappointing, but you've got Teela, you've got Man-at-Arms, which was Idris Elba. He's the guy from like...
Oh, I know Idris Elba, yeah.
He seems too high class for this movie. But
he's done some bad films, mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And I was worried, but right after just before the end credits, they did the moral of the story thing that they used to do on the TV show.
So you learned something from the film. Yeah.
I laughed, I cried, I learned.
Would you recommend it to others? As a person who doesn't engage in the He-Man universe?
To someone completely coming in fresh to He-Man, I don't think this
not
is
the best entry point.
I don't think
play with the action figure first.
There's not a lot there for you, I would say. This is often people talk about fan service, and I don't really know what they mean because I'm not really a fan of things. But this was fan service, and I enjoyed it very much. So I was served as a fan. So yeah, anyone who's into He-Man for sure. If you're not into He-Man, it's probably probably. Yeah, I went to see if you could buy the original toys on eBay. I saw one for $12,000. So
I reckon I probably got one back at my parents' house.
Do you?
I'll have a look.
My mum chucked mine out.
Is that why you don't speak anymore?
It's one of my angriest memories. I did watch The Rise of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Our Brother Hillel, which was a documentary
Okay.
about the forgotten member of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Hillel.
I did not know there was this person in the Red Hot Chili
Yeah,
Peppers.
he was in the original band in the 80s, but he died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So we'll come into our top fives here. Let's talk about how we come up with our top five. What's our criteria for placing them and ranking them?
Yeah, like it's not super complicated for me. I created a smart playlist on Apple Music, which is where I listen to most of my music. And I added in a filter for year of release 2026 and I sorted by most played.
Interesting.
And like that's a great starting point. Got to skip over all the kids' music from being in the car. And I think as you go down the list, it's not always the stuff at the top, which is what you really like, but just getting that memory of what have I listened to 2, 3, 4, 5 times that maybe I haven't listened to since February or March. But scrolling through that list, getting sort of the full picture, and being disappointed that there's not more music in there. But going through what are the things that I listen to a lot versus what are the things maybe I only listen to a handful of times, but have stuck with me, and just seeing them in the list just gave me a reminder of like, oh yeah, that was a great record. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I find I'm sort of compiling a list as I go through the year because there's albums that immediately say to me, "This is going to be my top 5, top 10."
So you collect them as you go throughout the year.
I'm sort of mentally making this list, I find, and I end up just ranking them by how much love is in my heart for the album. So definitely not in terms of what I think is the best quality or coolest. Just how much do I love them?
Yeah, I think that's important. I think there's a bit of that in mind too. Like, it's not about what you've listened to the most. It's not about what you think might be critically the best, if there's such a thing. But just like if it's the same as making someone like a mixtape. It's like these are the things I'm recommending that are important to me. That may not be the best, but maybe my list is my list because these albums are on it.
Yeah, and I find I often like it's rare for an album to get more than 1 or 2 plays. So because there's just so much to listen to. So
I've heard.
Even something I really like, I might not have listened to more than a couple of times.
You're a busy man.
Yep. So let's start with your number 5.
So my number 5, so starting off the list, is an album by an artist, Pedro Mizutani, called Nova Bossa. I won't do the Portuguese addendum, but I can tell you that the part on the back of the title means sending a big hug to the live rats, which I think is pretty cool.
How is this in the title?
What has this the title?
What do you mean?
Well, it's Nova Bossa, sending a big hug to the live rats. But that last phrase is in Portuguese.
Right.
I'm not going to butcher the pronunciation on this fine podcast.
I see.
But yeah, really, really nice record. I've listened to his stuff for a while. This is his debut. Got some sort of bossa influence. He's from Rio de Janeiro. I wouldn't say he's a bossa artist, but you kind of pick it up through osmosis, as you listen, as you grow up. But he moved to London a couple of years ago, I think. And yeah, he's sort of music has changed a bit to be more like a lo-fi pop, less world music sound. But I really appreciate it. Can't recall how I ever found out about him originally, but he's on Nice Guys record, which I think is a French record label. But I imagine that some of the other Australian artists on that label, I must have followed the label at some point. His videos come up somewhere on Instagram and off I go. But yeah, really, really nice record, beautiful voice, laid back, very chill. One that I always pop on when I don't really know what to listen to, and maybe I don't want to listen to something that's particularly new or exciting or challenging, but this was like always there. Very warm feeling.
Yeah, I listened to this one and agree. It's a very nice record.
Amazing voice, hey?
Yeah. And like you say, there's the bossa nova sort of sliding in here and there, but it's only a part of what's going on.
I wouldn't say like I'm a world music guy. I don't profess to know much about the bossa nova or any kind of like world music for that matter. I'm more into pop music. But I think he uses it well on the record.
Yeah. I did find that he got famous through TikTok, which was...
Well, I was going to clarify here because I did do a little bit of research. I got AI to look up some talking points. Bad Bunny shared one of his playlists of one of his songs. Right. I knew him before. All respect to Bad Bunny, but like I have been listening to him for a little bit. But good on him for getting a bit more famous now.
You're ahead of the curve in terms of...
yeah, I heard him before Bad Bunny, I assume, but I can't prove that.
Good. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. My number 5, Eves Wilder, Little Miss Sunshine. So this is someone who... I'm sort of glad I didn't know who she was before I heard this. I don't know if you looked her up at all, but she's a...
I listened to the record, but I didn't get the bio.
Yeah, so she's a little bit Nepo baby. Both her...
The Gene Wilder?
No, the name's invented, but her parents are both music critics.
Oh.
Her mum's probably the most famous, Caitlin Moran. Have you heard of her? She was sort of Twitter famous for a while. But yeah, anyway, I didn't know that when I found this, and I love it. It's very sunny pop, just rocky enough in the sort of Wolf Alice vein, perhaps. What did you think of it?
No, I thought it was good. I gave it a listen. I hadn't heard of it before you told me that you liked it. It's great. Where's she from?
England.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I'll listen to it again. I don't think any of the songs in particular like jumped out at me, but I thought top to bottom, great tracks, nice sound. I didn't know about the nepotism, so apologies, but I'm sure she would have got there by her own bootstraps.
Well, yeah, she started when she was around 16, which I think was about 6 years ago. This is a debut album, but she's put out sort of, Nepo baby singles along the way. But yeah, I think she's great. She's a great presence on Instagram as well. Just a cool person. So yeah, I'm on board with Eves Wilder. On to your number 4.
So now my number 4 is a new one. Chanel Beads, Your Day Will Come. It's only a couple of weeks old, maybe a week old. But it knocked me out when I first heard it. It was so good. I had heard the first record, also called Your Day Will Come, from a couple of years ago. I don't remember it really sinking in. But this one, I've listened to it 5-10 times in the past week. I think it's exceptional. The first time I did listen to it, I think I was telling you, because of the name of the album being the same for the first album and this new one, Apple Music mixed them together.
It's so annoying.
But I love that version of the album too. So if you haven't heard Chanel Beads before, I recommend going one for one of the track 1s, the track 2s, the track 3s. It wasn't too jarring. It kind of worked together, but I did feel the album was getting a little bit long by the end of it. And that's when I realized I was actually listening to 2 albums at the same time. But yeah, really, really good record. And I would not be surprised if that creeps up higher up my list as the year progresses.
Yeah, it's behaving the same way for me as the first one did, where it's like, I just keep coming back to it because I feel like there's something there. It just keeps drawing me back. So I've probably listened to it about 5 times as well, which is pretty unusual for any album.
I get to the end and I just want to put it back on from the start. It's a good sign.
The drawback for me is there's not that many songs. Like it's a lot of sort of, ambient stuff. Yeah. And there's a couple of bangers. What's it called? Silver something. And the second track. If everything was like that, this would be...
Do you think it needs a bit more editing, you think?
Well, not editing, because there's only Song for the Messenger and Silver Cup, both huge bangers. And if there was more like that, I think this would get higher for me, maybe even top 5. But yeah, it's quite, apart from those songs, it's fairly laid back, but it's...
I don't mind the less song-like songs. I just think the instrumentation and his sort of weird pop sensibilities. I just like the style, and it doesn't need to be a catchy track. I just like the sound of the sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best textures of the year. All right, well, my number 4 is Echo Vandal. Looking for people to unfollow. So Australian singer, it's been, 8 years, I think, or 8 or 9 years since her debut album. This is only her second album. So she's been on a bit of a journey. I can't remember what she said she's been doing, but she's had a long break. But she's back and quite popular, it seems. She supported the Deftones.
I heard that, yeah.
Which, if I'd known that, I might have gone. I'm not a huge Deftones.
And left after she finished.
Well, it's funny because that was at like Ace Arena or whatever. And then I noticed yesterday she's got a show at Oxford Art Factory, which is like tiny, which I'm going to go to. But yeah, kind of weird. Like I would have thought she was bigger than that. But anyway, I put this album on my big speakers in the lounge room, and I put it up really loud, and it blew me away on first listen. I love this. It rocks really hard out of the gate. Probably halfway through, a bit more, it starts getting a little more, little quieter, bit different styles, but yeah, this just rips. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, it was the first single, Ghosts, was it? I remember seeing the film clip, the first single of this album. I love the single. It might not have been Ghost. I feel like
that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I've seen her before, like as a support at shows in the past. But my memory of her was always more of like the punk side. But I was like pleasantly surprised by like how many sort of genres that she explores on this. And I actually found the more quiet songs some of the ones I liked the most. Like Levitate Part 1 and 2. Like that's a fantastic song. Definitely more in sort of an R&B realm than a punk realm. But I think that's kind of a similar feeling to a lot of the albums that are on my list, which is, hopping between different sounds across the space of an album, finding a way to make it congruent through the production so it's not jarring. But I thought this was it's a really cracking record, but kind of like defies classification. I think it's punk enough for the punk kids, but it's probably pop enough for the pop kids too.
Yeah, which is where I often inhabit, like pop punk. Yeah, is a good space for me. All right, moving on to your number 3.
So this one, I think it came out quite early this year. The Ulrika Spacek record, Expo. This was one that I listened to a lot around the time it came out. Experimental rock, I guess you'd call it.
It's almost Radiohead-ish.
It's a little bit Radiohead-ish. There's a little bit of sort of sampling in there as well from time to time. Sort of ethereal vocals in places. It dropped off the radar a bit for me, but sort of going back through the list of things I'd listened to this year, it sort of jumped out at me. I'm like, I haven't listened to this in a while. It's just a really nice record. I wouldn't say I'm familiar with a lot of their other stuff. They've done like 4 records now, I think. I'd heard the one before, Compact Trauma, but this one I think is like a cut above. It's I don't know why I find it like so compelling, but it's just a nice record. You've heard this one before, haven't you?
Yeah, I heard this early in the year, and I played it again this week to get it back in my memory. And yeah, it's good. It's a bit like Chanel Beads in that there's a sound to it that's really interesting.
A little bit like crap rocky in places too, isn't it? Yeah.
But there's only so many like actual songs that I really like. But yeah, pretty interesting album. I heard they sort of sampled themselves and then made things out of their samples.
That's clever.
So, yeah, which appeals to me as a process. Yeah, cool album. All right, my number 3, Hemlock Springs, pop artist from America. She's had some cool EPs before. This is her debut, and I was really impressed with this because it's exactly the kind of pop that I like, where it's not too like smooth and polished. It's a bit raggedy, and her voice is a little probably harsher than your average pop girly. But yeah, mix of styles on here. There's one song that's really like Madonna. The song I like is the second track, which my song of the year. I haven't paid much attention to what she's been doing the rest of this year. This came out pretty early, but very keen to get more of her as the years go on.
Yeah, like I liked it. I think that you know more about pop music than me, and I sort of read that a lot of the influences are coming from K-pop and like other types of pop that I wouldn't say I'm really familiar with outside of the Demon Hunters movie, which my kids love the soundtrack for. I think maybe I would have appreciated a bit more if I understood the genres of styles that she's lifting from. I think that there's a few tracks that kind of like took me out of the listen. Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Ankles. It's got a bit of like a musical theatre vibe that I don't really gel with. You're laughing. I don't know if you agree, but it does feel a little bit theatrical in a way that I'm not a huge fan of.
I find that kind of thing funny. I think I like a sense of humor as well. So
I think if you take it as tongue in cheek, it's funny. But maybe going into it, I have only listened to it once. I admit. Yeah. I wasn't. I what to expect. But this is not very serious in places.
No. Yeah, that's what I like about it as well. Cool. Moving on to your number 2.
Yeah, so this one is a bit of a cheat. So I've gone with DJ Sabrina, the Teenage DJ, and Fantasy. So this one came out in like the period between when people write their year-end lists and the start of the year. I think it was like late December, just before Christmas. Mm-hmm. It came out on Bandcamp. I love this record. It is very, very long.
It's almost 4 hours. Right?
It's almost 4 hours, but it's not. This is her vibe. She does this all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's her best work. I can just pick any random part of the album and just start from there. It has some really catchy, sort of Daft Punk-esque electronic music in it. There's a little bit of the sort of plunderphonics of the Avalanches, just so many different styles and sounds, but very joyous. I think that's come through, not in the last couple of picks I've had, but, pop music, I think is just so good right now. And I think anything that just feels good and makes you happy, makes you want to dance, it's really resonating with me. And I can't think of a record this year that has been more fun to listen to.
Yeah, I was wondering how you listen to this, because you could sort of put it out in the beginning of the workday and then when it's finished, it's lunchtime.
Well, no, you can't start from the start. That's the problem. Because then you never get to the end.
Yeah.
So I can't listen to the record for 4 hours. And so I don't want to put it on random because like the songs do mix together really well.
Yeah. All right. So my number 2, a band that I've had quite the experience with this year, which is why it's placed so highly, Megafauna. The album Sophomore. So this is an album that when I first heard it, I first found the single on Instagram. That was a sort of punky, quite a fun song. Went and checked out the album, and it was mostly not like that at all. It's very soft, sort of pop, ambient sound almost. And I thought, yeah, it's okay. But then I went to see them. They had a launch party for the album. And I decided that launch parties are really the best kind of shows to go to, because everyone's just so happy. They've got their friends and family. And they just put so much effort into this show. You walked in and it's just all these decorations. There's masses of flowers everywhere. There's fluffy clouds hanging from the ceiling. There's a tarot card on the way in for a lucky door prize. But then they started playing and I realized every song was like, oh, I remember this song and I like it now. And I went to the merch table after, got to meet the singer. Mm-hmm. That helps with the parasocial relationship. So yeah, when I listened to the record after that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember all these songs. We were having a great time. And yeah, the whole, just as a package, this became one of my most loved albums.
Well, it feels like it was a real moment for you. That was a real 2026 moment, that show.
It was one of my biggest moments in my big moment
In your
list.
top 5 moments?
Top 5 moments.
Yeah, I wish I'd gone. I know you'd said the show was on. I couldn't make it, but yeah, I did really like the record. But I guess like you, seeing the band in their element at a launch party probably would change the way it sounded when I listened to it again. So I'm glad you got that experience, and it sounds like it's stuck with you.
Certainly has. I keep going back to it. All right, we've made it all the way to your number 1.
Yeah, and this one, particularly after you asked me how I make my list, this one was right up the top of my list in the most listened to, and I think it probably feels like the least personal because I'm sure this is going to be on a whole bunch of other people's lists. But it's Slater, Worst Girl in America. I just love this record. I listened to it so many times. I think the production's fantastic. I don't know anything about Slater. I hadn't heard any of their music before, but this one just like surprised me and excited me the first time I saw it and the first time I heard it. In a way that maybe Brat did. I know that's probably a bit sort of, cliche to say, but it does feel like a big record sort of coming into sort of that American festival period. I heard a show at like Coachella was crazy, which I'm not surprised about at all.
I saw a bit of that.
Yeah, but yeah, really good. Production, fantastic. Really harsh, a little bit of like a Yeezus sound on it. Good record. I think it probably ends up going down the list a bit as new things pop up towards the end of the year. But right now, I think if I look at what I've listened to the most and what's given me a bunch of enjoyment, it's this record right here.
Yeah, this is a great record, a worthy number 1. For some reason, I only listened to it a couple of times, but I think if I listened to it more, it would rise in my. It's probably in my top 10, maybe. Yeah, amazing. I love the track "Yes God." God.ddd, lots of D's. Very good.
Yeah, there's some track names on this one. Yeah, I think that the lyrics as well are like pretty confrontational is probably the wrong word, but like they're plenty memeable. Like, and there's a lot of quotable quotes there, and I think that's definitely helped with it getting a bit of traction. I'm sure plenty of other breathless critics have said amazing things about this record. I just like listening to it. It's very fun.
I don't know what I expected her to look like, but I saw her for the first time at the Coachella set, and she looks a bit like Shakira, which I don't know, that was unexpected.
Or maybe they should have got her to do the World Cup song then.
Yeah, she might end up there. All right. So my number 1's a little different. The Enthusiast, another local band, their album Funny Things. How did I find this? I think I found it on Rate Your Music, actually. Going through the Australian, just filtering by Australia. Kind of the complete opposite of my experience with Megafauna. I put on the album and just absolutely loved it right from the start. And then a bit later I went to their show and it was in just the worst venue. Like it was sort of a lodge thing as well, and that it was the only show they did, I think, for the album. But there was it was just in this horrible dark basement. There's probably more than 100 something people there, all packed in. I could barely see them. They were in this tiny stage where there was must have been almost 8 or 9 people on stage, which is weird because they're a trio, but they had all these sort of extra instruments, which I just didn't like. I would have preferred to see the sort of trio version, because the songs are very just a bit sort of folky Australian rock, and I just would have liked it a bit more simple, but they kind of layered on all these extra instruments. So opposite thing where the show sort of made it worse, but I still love the album.
So do we go to launch parties? Do we don't go to launch parties? You're giving mixed signals, mate.
Yeah. Well, it didn't call it a launch party, so I'll let myself off the hook there. But Yeah, I guess it shows me the venue makes quite a bit of difference. And it was just so interesting to me because like Megafauna is all women and the Enthusiast is all men, and the amount of effort put into the the respective shows was extreme.
They had no clouds hanging from the ceiling at their show.
No, yeah, so
Tarot cards.
no gimmicks at all, no flowers. So that was an interesting point of comparison. But yeah, I love that album. It's, as I've mentioned several times on the pod this year, I'm really enjoying the sort of nostalgic 80s Australian sort of vibes of a lot of artists.
I want to thank you for sharing this with me because I looked it up on Apple Music, couldn't find it. I think there's only like one single.
Yeah, it was on there and they took it off.
But yeah, I've had a chance to listen to it front to back. I love it. I think it's a really, really nice record. I think the only single on Apple Music is Antiques Roadshow, which I quite like. It gives me a bit of a Good Morning vibe, that sort of Melbourne pop duo.
Yes.
I don't know why, but the record is quite different from that single. But yeah, I definitely hear that sort of nostalgic 80s rock. I will definitely listen a whole bunch more times. I think it's a really, really good record.
Yeah, I really like his voice. It's quite a sort of rich. I mean, he's quite a young guy, I think. But yeah, quite a rich voice.
Marrickville, they're locals, aren't they?
Yeah, they have a really interesting website actually. Very sort of old school.
It's good navigation.
Like weird, yeah, sort of weird navigation, sort of Y2K type website.
There's one thing I like more than albums, it's websites. So top 5 website of the year.
Yeah. Let's put it in there. Well, that's become the end of our top 5. So just one little question to finish off: albums that you're anticipating in the remainder of 2026.
Yeah, there's one out. I think it's this Friday actually. The new record from Show Me the Body, a New York City, I guess post-punk hardcore band. Another one produced by Kenneth Bloom, aka Kenny Beats. He's been on a bit of a hot streak recently with the Geese record. He's got the Weezer record coming out, which is no doubt is one that you're looking forward to. I just really like this band. Done a couple of records now, maybe 3 records. New York City, seem like really nice guys. They've got like a record collective, like sort of super local stuff. There was an article with the singer Julian recently about doing calisthenics in the park, which I loved. Not much about the music, more about working out in the sun, and like great merch, good videos. I'm interested to see what Kenny does with their sound. The singles have been awesome, except for they did a Beastie Boys Sabotage cover, which I wasn't a fan of. But everything else has been really good. So that's coming out soon. I think that's going to be good. But outside of that, there's a whole bunch of like good bands I like that are doing records that are probably going to be good. Phoebe Bridgers, Ian Sweet, Interpol might be good this time.
Yeah, I liked the first 2 songs that released from. Yeah, I liked them.
Yeah, I mean it could be a good record. And West Side Cowboy as well. I'm excited about their debut.
Yeah, I like the EP. Yeah, Phoebe Bridgers for sure. I saw today she's released a game.
Oh, has she? Like a
browser, like a browser game. It's like collecting coins and jumping.
Oh, cool,
sort of thing. Yeah, Phoebe for sure. Charlie obviously is going to drop soon.
Haven't liked the singles so much.
Yeah, they're just okay for me. Yeah, we'll see. I like rock music. I like where she says rock music in the song.
It's a great genre. Got to be one of my top 5 genres of music.
Grace Cummings, do you know her?
Yep. I do know Grace Cummings, yeah.
Her 4th album. Excited about. Swap Meet is a band that I'm just constantly hearing about. Very buzzy, even overseas. I think Pitchfork's covered them a little bit. Went to see them in a little pub. Yeah, they're cool. Interested to see what they do because they're I think they're coming from a place where their songs are more quiet, like quite slow, but they have this big punk song, which is super catchy, that I think is what a lot of the buzz is sort of based on. So I'm interested to see whether the album has more of that they even when they finished the show, they had a bit more time, and they said, "Oh, we could play that song again." Yeah,
I know what you mean with that, because I think I mentioned I think this year's had a whole bunch of like good records from good bands. But I think it's more exciting when it's a buzzy band and a record's not out yet, and they're buzzy because they haven't got anything out.
Yeah.
But they've curated a good social. There's some good videos of like live performances, and you're like, I can't wait to see what this sounds like when it gets recorded for real. There's a handful of those I think that excite me. Not saying I'm not excited about the 20 or 21st Weezer record, but like it's a bit different when it's like a band who's got 2 singles and you're waiting to hear what that first record's going to sound like.
Yeah. And I find a lot of the stuff I've really liked this year has been debuts.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's what made Out of Adelaide too, which is unusual for a buzzy band. Yeah.
Great city.
Good city.
There's a lot of music coming out of Adelaide now.
Yeah, I think it's unusual for a Adelaide band to be getting covered overseas. I don't know.
I think that's probably unusual.
The other one I'm very interested in is Biba Doobie. Have you seen the lineup she's got on this album?
Like guest artist?
Yeah. So she's got Hayley Williams.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the lead singers of Turnstile, Deftones, Pine Grove, and the guitarist from Title Fight. So I'm interested to see what this means.
Are they all on the same song? Or...
I don't know how it's working. They're all involved in making the record somehow. And she's been very light pop in the past, where this is all obviously.
I really like her stuff. I don't know how those vocals are going to fit in, so I guess
Yeah, just interested.
Well, you're asking. This is an anticipation question, and I think you're not necessarily saying it's going to be the best thing, but it'll be interesting to see what she does with it.
Yeah, I really like her grunge sort of stuff from early on. I saw her at Enmore Theatre, and she just was just a grunge star. Like it was awesome. All right, any final thoughts to and a wrap up?
No, lots of good music, lots more to come. Wish I had more time to listen, but thanks for having me on, and I appreciate all of the great recommendations you give me in person and via your podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you hear for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much for sharing yours with me as well.
My pleasure.
If we end up not being on the same Slack, we'll have to change to a WhatsApp or something.
We can work something out.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, they said it couldn't be done. They said there were too many podcasts. They said music was dead, that the scene was over, that no one would be interested in lawn trimmer updates or books opening phobias. But one man proved them wrong. One man said the world needed something more, something that celebrates whimsy, something with extremely Australian indie music, something with discussions of mental health and geopolitical tensions. Because why not? Now 10 episodes in across 2 remarkable seasons, we know it can be done. We know that there is a tiny glimmer of light in this sick world. We know there is room for one more podcast. So here's to the next 10 triumphant episodes of this podcast. And in these times of darkness, may we all continue to hear good things.
A very kind and unprompted tribute from a man in Japan. I appreciate him very much. He always has something to say about each episode. Not all men, I always say. If you want to say something about an episode, you can always send mail to mail@iheargoodthings.com. Love to hear from you. Send your questions for the show. At the top of the episode, I said no one would be going away empty-handed, so I'm pleased to announce the first installment of Radio Benbow on Mixcloud. The link will be in the show notes. On the first Radio Benbow, I play releases from Australian artists from the first half of 2026 that I didn't talk about on the pod. I'll now be on an indeterminate hiatus before Season 3. So in the meantime, please enjoy Radio Benbow. Thank you to all my guests today and everyone who's contributed to these 10 episodes so far. Anna Jevons, Anthony from Mass Wisteria, Nabil, Kelsey from Fempre 3. They got an honourable mention at the DJ competition. Jasmine from Moran, Jasmine not from Moran, Luke from Japan, a fully qualified carpenter, Richard Lindsay, Jack with the Bad Floor, DJ Bullet Arm, my wife, Karen, You've all been congratulated by Dave Abraziz, drummer on Pearl Jam's classic albums Versus and Vitalogy. They're my favourite band of all time.
Everybody involved with the I Hear Good Things podcast.
Thank you for listening. And to take us out from the archives of Uncle Lee, a song we recorded in high school, see if you can hear my beautiful voice. It's Happy Time in Lollyland. Goodbye for now.
It's happy time in Lollyland where people smile all the time. It's happy time, so don't be late or you'll be sad. And maybe we belong in Happy Land. All the people in the street, they laugh and play, greeting people that they meet all day. I'm living on that the sad in any way. It's happy time in Lollyland where people smile all the time. It's happy time, so don't be late or you'll be sad. And maybe they belong in Happy Land. When I used to have a friend who always smiled, all the people he used to tend they like his style. Then one day he began to bend and crack me pain with pain. It's happy time in Lollyland where people smile all the time. It's happy time, so don't be late or you'll be sad. And maybe he belongs in Happy Land. In Lollywood, it's happy time today. Old man sits on the corner, he drinks all day, hoping that his tears will wash his life away. Yet he manages to keep on living in dirt and clay. Dirt and clay. It's happy time in Lollyland where people smile all the time. It's happy time, so don't be late or you'll be sad. It's happy time in Lollyland where people smile all the time. It's happy time, so don't be late or you'll be sad. And maybe we all belong in Happy Land. Ooh, in Lollywood, it's happy time today. And maybe we all belong in Happy Land.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, did you see that Auntie Donna thing with the there's a bunch of tradies about having a hot dog for what's he have for like
Oh, no, I saw the thumbnail, but I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know how much time those guys have ever spent on site because I've never seen anyone have a hot dog for breakfast ever.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like
Pies,
it.
sausage rolls, yes. Iced coffee, yes.
Feels too vulnerable, the hot dog on the site.
Vulnerable? Why?
Well, there's just so much exposed to the open air, like whereas a pie is all encapsulated.
Oh, okay.
Don't you think? I mean,
Alright.
I don't know. Bringing something open faced,
Bring it-
like an open faced sandwich, wouldn't go well on a site.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I don't know much about the site either. So
Oh, it's yeah, don't know,
Talk-
it's another world, man.
yeah, just talking out my flaps.
Nah, it's all good.